that he wanted. Certainly good news. That being said, the Graves was kind of picked into the Camille, so
yeah,
not the greatest of news. And this gentleman right here needs to step up. Doran not having a great last game. We'll see whether he can pull it together here and bring us to those 5 games. Twisted Fate, banned away first.
It's very important that the early game goes well for the top side of the map. And I would not be surprised to see both junglers path towards top. Because Doran in particular has been known to be a Feast of Famine style of player. And Doran does really well 2 matches in a row, then gets to play against a completely different player. That player then bodies him. Again, I do think that what needs to be mentioned is that Canyon also visited the top side like 5 times.
Yeah.
But he had the setup, right? That's what the Camille is for, that's what the Camille excels at, and that's what they did. And to me, I can see that being a very frustrating experience. And Hoya is just here. He comes in after not playing for weeks, has a wonderful game, has a Yuumi on his back, gets a POG. He's vibing, he's having a good time, he's feeling great. And this man today has been playing impeccably. I think Chovy is the one player on Gen G where I'm like, I don't think he made any sus plays throughout the entirety of the day.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Galio pick just in
general.
No,
that's fair. But when you compare it to some of the other moments, Peanut with a dive in, obviously Doran in the previous game, and Ruler, after a split where they literally used it as a bait, actually getting caught in a Ruler spot by a very ready Damwon Kia. Showmaker setting that one up.
Ooh, okay, so the Karma is going to be opted for once again, giving over the Rise to Damwon Kia. I mean, Rise Lee Sin, it was their linchpin the last time around, and I think there's absolutely no reason not to just pick it again.
No, they're going to pick it up. Like, I don't see any reason for Damwon to stop away, especially because this is such a malleable call. You can go into so many compositions based off of these 2 champions. They don't pigeonhole you into anything. Can go many different directions. Still, although if Gen G run it back with the draft as well, I'm fairly certain Damwon will. Nautilus, interestingly, has been one of the picks that compared to the previous series, compared to T1, has dropped so far in priority here. And as I say that, not taking the Lee here.
Not taking Lee, I think, is just...
That's, yeah, I was about to say, I get Leona's good.
But
right. we got the right champion in the end. That's the important thing. Hovers don't exist.
Yeah, no, good. They are going to do the right thing. As now Peanut, Rek'Sai, certainly a good matchup into Lee Sin on paper. But right now, big grin on Peanut's face. Not looking too phased about the state of the game right now. And Volibear might be his decision. A little bit more early game power. The direct antithesis of the Nocturne.
And to bolster that, Karma does actually help. It's a pick that can provide a little bit more longevity to the... I think you're looking Camille again.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think there's any reason not to.
Yeah, I agree. It's predictable, sure, but one, Hoya got POG on the pick. And secondly, I still firmly hold that Camille is a great answer into the Ezreal, no matter what the state of the game is. Could see that game as well. Ruler actually, the most fed member, but if he misstepped at any point, there were 3 people flashing on top of him, and once you're in the Thunderdome, you're not getting out.
Nope.
And unsurprisingly, that is going to be the pickup here for Damwon Kia, as overall, I gotta say, especially after the kind of drop that Ezreal Karma has had throughout this series, not just Ruler and Hands, but Dr. Michaela losing on it as well, that the priority that Damwon Kia has put here on this Rise, on this Lee, is going to work out very, very well, yet again. And
yeah, Victor going to be banned away here, just trying to shore up Showmaker's matchups in that mid lane. LeBlanc still available. Chovy could go towards that one. The Galio also, if he'd like to go back to what they tried to do in the last game. But I'm kind of hoping that they don't. Hoping for a little bit of a change up here. But very interesting that we've got a complete run back so far of Damwon Kia's draft, Gen G, Leona, Nautilus, the 2 bans from last game. They might look to the Yuumi to just get rid of that one, but instead, they are just going to stick to their guns. Very curious so far, Chronicler. No early Galio pick away or anything like that. Damwon could ban it here for that reason.
Just makes me feel like Damwon's gonna off for Yuumi again and be completely fine if you don't ban
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Because what we saw in the previous game was that whereas Gen G was able to punish, sure, they got the lead on bot side, it was also not that relevant in the larger scheme of things, even with a composition that expectedly should play well around getting that bot side some leads. Of course, to add to that, the top side was so aggressively snowballed into Doran. That Graves is definitely going to change. I don't think that one is coming back. But a Yuumi ban, I think, pays justified respects to Damwon, and that's going to come through here. So R4 Leona is, yeah, that's definitely the expected outcome here. Although we have seen the Renata priority be hyped into Ezreal Karma, I don't think the pick provides that much. And this is very in line with what Damwon have been doing for the entirety of the night. Kellen again on hard engage here.
Yep, absolutely true. I think that the Yuumi did give Damwon here a big advantage. The last game, I really liked that that was the chosen ban instead of going for the Leona. Big grin on Chovy's face here. He's trying to work out what he wants to do. Whether it be just Galio again, or could we be going for a little bit more of that poke flavor? The Corki to come in doesn't exactly have the greatest time in the laning phase, but Chovy has been so incredibly consistent on this Corki. And so this is going to be Gen G just saying, nah, we'll park and we'll just get ourselves towards the late game where we can just win.
I think this is going to be Zaya, but you know what I'd love? I'd love an Ashe.
Oh, man.
Right?
I miss Ashe.
Actually able to counter shove into the Karma, contest with volley, add more engage, because with how the comps are looking right now, well, Damwon, get as much hard engage as you can, because Gen G, they're going to be playing the range game. Gragas really adds to what we've already seen, is also a extremely strong pick into Camille, able to actually knock people out and her out of the Hextech ultimatum, cancelling it as such. But the Gen G composition has a serious lack of early game pressure, and that's something, barring of course the shove, that Damwon has got to have to deal with.
The Ziggs, okay. We're fighting range with range. On this side, as Damwon here, they do have physical damage in the form of the Camille and, of course, the Lee Sin, so it's not exactly the worst. But this game, if Hoya falls behind, Damwon here could find themselves in an absolutely dire situation. And Gen G, I mean, their late game insurance, their front to back team fighting, their disengage, oh my god. They got a lot of things. However, this time, they don't necessarily have as much early pressure outside of that bottom lane. So playing through Ruler and Lehends is once again going to be priority one. Also Peanut finding some good angles could definitely be a linchpin. But we have to remind everyone, these are the stakes. It's match point for Damwon Kia to find themselves in yet another final. Once again, facing off against T1. Gen G, they crafted this roster to win. And they have looked very good. The majority of this series, they have looked like the better team. But Damwon Kia have killed the most Nexuses. And that's what you need to do in order to win League of Legends.
One of those Nexuses was very close to living.
It was.
But in the it didn't.
Sometimes a short fuse is what's in between you and surviving for another few minutes. It's absolutely true.
Madman with a bomb, winning that crucial game, getting the final order in the Nexus, and Doctor, I'm going to try and do that again in this possibly final game 4. I'm hoping for 5 games. I think the composition that Gen G have drafted has all the tools you could possibly need. But actually getting to those tools is where it might be a little bit scary, because if I look at the top side for Damwon Kia, the 2v2 overall way stronger, right? You have, and the 3v3 as well. If you can actually free up Kellen, if Showmaker, Kellen, Canyon, Hoya can make plays, it's going to be really hard for Gen G. I don't think that they will have the necessary power with Ruler, with Chovy, and that is something that Peanut's going to have to get them through. Peanut's going to have to get them through the early game. He's going to have to find a couple of key plays, or at the very least, match Canyon, make sure that he can get the rest of the team ahead. Because if you get to the late game, I don't think you win by default, because Doctam exists, and we've seen what that does. Yeah. But you have Corki, Ezreal, and Gragas for this engage. Like, it's still pretty good. as far as insurance policies go.
No, you're exactly right. Damonkia, I think they're going to be relying on, you know, Hoya splitting alongside, I guess, Showmaker, who can also augment a 1-3-1 style of composition. And then Doctarm being able to freely clear waves in the mid lane. I actually quite like this for a split push style of composition. But it is still a little bit wonky. And a little bit questionable. After Damonkia had such beautiful drafts in their Fred Brion series, I feel like my expectations were quite high moving into this series. It's been less good. As Damonkia going to struggle in this laning phase a lot, right? But we'll see whether they can get to a late game where the Ziggs is still going to be powerful.
Post-Lost Chapter becomes a lot more manageable, as you will be able to just clear waves on the Mons, and it's really the early game where Ruler and Lahans are going to have complete and utter dominance of the lane. You're not going to be able to contest, you don't have the skills yet to actually clear the waves, to actually trade or do either of those things, as Ruler and Lahans definitely do. And health bar's already very low. Crucially here is that Canyon wasn't spotted, so they don't actually know. Peanut is gonna go in here now, and Showmaker very far up.
Exactly. Showmaker gonna walk down, gets into the fog of war.
Yeah.
And is going to just avoid. No flash is going to be invested or anything like that on Gen G's side.
As I mentioned, the setup for Peanut's not great.
No.
Corki is definitely a champion at some point in the game. Not right now. He needs some time. He needs to actually be able to get his crucial item spikes. Very much to what we saw with the Kai'Sa. And of course, if you watched early game LCP, you know this. But maybe you didn't. Maybe you just caught the last couple of weeks where Corki was not a thing, and you didn't hear us mold for, what, 2 months about this pick?
It was only a month.
I think it was a month. Yeah, we got better at dealing.
Yeah.
But it was not fun.
No, it took a lot of counseling. A lot of counseling.
It was hard, yeah.
It's been much better since people have started picking the Corgi again, because I find it very hard to be mad when it's Corgi because it's so adorable. So that's definitely a positive.
Well,
thanks to Chovy for that one, allowing us to cope.
That makes one of us.
Oh, really?
I mean, I love the skin. Don't get me wrong. The skin is amazing.
Yeah.
But the champion, I'm still not on board with.
So you don't think that the excuse
really
gets us across the line?
No, it doesn't even it out for me. No, it's still a detriment to my enjoyment of the game.
Okay, fair enough. Well, do you know who's not enjoying the game? Doctarm isn't enjoying the game.
No.
Him and Callan are getting zoned away from experience on the bottom side. Hoya getting some vision over, and Damwon, if they want to be able to stem the bleeding, I think it'll have to come from a different lane at this point in time. As you can see, Showmaker able to get a bit of a shove here, but he has already gone for his back. Chovy now going to go back to base and buy a couple of items, and get back here no worse for wear.
As the Gragas going to feel way safer than the Gravesmith. Able to actually trade with the Camille. And even if you do fall behind, as long as you keep your cask, you're fine. Don't have to be too worried about the situation that we saw in the previous game where Damonkia was able to just slam and slam and slam down. And like the little movement from Shellmaker there, threatening a little bit towards bot side as there was no vision for Damonkia, and it's crucial that Doctarm is able to pick up this wave. We'll be able to get most of it, but still.
The body slam is weird.
Yeah. Near perfect CSing from Ruler, right? Who is very far ahead. But Doctarm should be able to get his... not quite. I was about to say, if he gets his chapter, he's feeling good. Showmaker!
Yeah, Showmaker in a bit of trouble here. Might actually have to flash, but decides that he just doesn't want to. First blood goes over to the Corki of all people as Canyon tries to make his way up top side, but isn't going to get in there. Flash invested for Peanut, but first blood going to the Corki is just the best of news for Gen G.
Oh yeah, not finding the hook shot there. Very hard to reliably get that into a Gragas, especially with flash up, no obstacle to make him available. And as a result, Gen G, 5 minutes in, have a 1k gold lead and going to pick up the first raid. And what I mentioned previously about Gen G needing to get to their item spot, it still applies to a certain extent, but a beautiful 3-man play here. Lahans not wasting a second, and the moment that the chain comes through, Showmaker knows he's dead. Pete's also using his flash, not 100% certain whether that was a 100% necessary, and will mean that there is some offensive pressure now that he will lack, but still, getting the kill, really big. Getting the early hex trick for Chovy means that he's probably not going to die anymore. Or at the very least, be able to trade way easier into Showmaker. And GEN G, feeling good. But this has been the trend every single game. So it's pretty much par for the course. It's about what happens when we go to the objectives. When the team fight setups start to come through. When the objectives actually get contested. That's where GEN G have faltered today.
Yeah. As well as where Darmonkir have, you know, found a lot of success.
Exactly.
We'll see whether Hoya is going to, once again, have a good game. Is back-to-back on these Camille's as well. Even in farm up towards the top side, but it is a far more neutralizing matchup, like you've already mentioned, in the Gragas for Doran. And so GEN G going to be feeling a lot better about that. Plus the stability of the composition, much better for GEN G as well. As we're trading some sweepers. Hens just throwing out a bit of damage here against Kellen. And it is actually going to be pretty sticky. Leona doesn't want to be too low. Not going to be able to have any engages possible. But double summoners are down on Lehens. So a possible avenue for attack, but they're not going to go in. Just the power of the Ezreal Karma is just a little bit too high. Big one comes out from Chovy here onto Showmaker. Showmaker's already pretty tanky, so he's not too worried about it. Plus Chovy doesn't exactly have the damage that he wants just yet. And so it's just some casual farming. GEN G very, very happy to do this, right? The more inaction there is, the more happy GEN G fans are.
It's the comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
Hang back, wait for the item spikes. Let's get Corki to a point where he's going to feel happy and fed. Ooh, very nice. That cancelled there. But I was expecting Dogdom to probably teleport towards bot side anyway to try and get as much pressure as he can. And lovely read here. I say as Ruler is still responding to the possible threat. And that's a TP towards the mid lane.
As well as a body slam that didn't quite connect there onto Canyon. Q connects onto Doran here, but the Rift Herald has been taken down. Hoya looking for his opportunity. Is going to be able to help lock down the kill onto his opposite number, but Peanut just slams down Canyon. The Storm comes on over the Rocket, so close to getting an extra kill for GEN G. But Hoya's on the board. We'll see what that means. But crucially, GEN G lock down Shelly and are able to now get all of those plates available for themselves.
And that's high risk, low reward for Domon. Because with that teleport, you are opting into this fight. And you see what in the late game is going to be a game-winning combo. Namely, Hoya making his way over and using a Hextech ultimatum on the target and the target then getting Zigzag. But this is a tank Gragas. And this is early game. So 6's damage, fairly lackluster. And Peanut is a very, very strong Angry Bear. Takes a chomp out of Canyon and they trade evenly in kills. Perfectly happy with that. And then to add to that, GEN G is actually able to get the Herald. So overall gold lead still going to be massively in their favor. And that might help them pick up a second Drake early on here. And that Drake control means that GEN G can then say, we don't care about Drakes for like 3 of them. And then at that point, if Chovy and Ruler don't hit their spikes at that, I don't know. Maybe they stopped farming, but knowing these two players, I don't think that's very likely.
Nope. Doran comes on over here, gets his Demolish proc. He'll take a plate away as well.
Whee!
And is just going to waddle his way down, look for a bit of a reset here, I would assume, unless he's just going to get some vision instead. As Chovy just chilling out, ahead by a couple of CS. Of course, Showmaker will be able to answer back. I believe that cannon did go to Chovy, but I guess we'll never know unless you guys were watching the CS number. I was not, so it's still a mystery to me.
Wow. Look at this guy.
Yeah. Hookshot going to be interrupted there. Very nice body slam. Is now Doran looking for his opportunity. Canyon just lying in wait. Understands he wants to get over here as Canyon just mini stun into the wall. And Doran is a real dead. Nice double body slam as he does manage. Oh, I've seen this play before. That is Canyon locking down that kill comfortably. In fact, that's what Umpty did to Canyon in their final series against Fred at Brion in the regular season. But Peanut's going to answer. He's going to throw down Shelly in this mid lane. They've already managed to get one of the plates. As Canyon has to safeguard over to Showmaker, but it is still going to be plate money going to the Corki, and Peanut will be able to lock down this Drake.
The plan is clear. Accelerate Chovy, and he will carry us into the promised land of a 5th game.
Yeah.
And, I'm a believer. I'm having faith. The amount of money that he's able to get this early to call is all working out swimmingly. Doran, again, having a bad time.
He is, and I think it's going to get worse.
Well, yeah,
I think the game plan is just kill Doran over and over again and try and tilt him out of this series, as he is just dead. Doctom trying to hold on here towards this bottom side as the turret gets turned off. Can Doctom answer? Is going to be the question, as thankfully for Gen G, Peanut was tanking the turret. And so even though there's low health bars, it is still a pick.
Need to replay that. I think Peanut ordered the turret.
I think he
didn't matter.
It changed color, I believe.
No. He definitely hit his ultimate. That part was, but I think he used his Q on the turret, not on Doctom.
Oh.
But I'm gonna have to see replay that, and also it didn't matter. So overall, we see that the immediate response from GEN G very nice, and crucially, we've been calling for this for a long time. If you are playing a Foley Bear, use your ultimate on turrets. Yeah. And it's not always been done, so it's really good to see. As I am completely on board with the tilt Doran out of this game plan. As Doctom already threw his ultimate towards the wave, right? So make sure flashes away. Yeah.
I mean, he played the DDR about as well as he could, but I think you're supposed to lose that particular.
Oh no, yeah, you don't get out of that. But the yeah was on Peanut, smashing the turret. And ooh. A couple of great things
Trinity
here.
Force, that's cool.
Ruler going Trinity Force, love that. And Peanut also going for Divine Sunderer, which we've seen basically only the Tank Foley Bear being played, and his ratios are actually really good. So especially with an early game lead, I think Divine Sunderer, while more risky, is going to give you so much more dueling potential, and is going to possibly allow Peanut to have a little bit of bigger impact in this game. And overall, trades are looking very reminiscent of the previous game, although this time it's not Ruler that gets ahead, it's Chovy. And he is currently sitting on the Mana Mune, and once Ludens comes through, which with the call is going to be sooner rather than later, they are going to be very strong. And see that Drake Atlas?
Oh no.
Doran's dead.
He's dead again.
Just accept it.
Oh, it's so sad. Kick comes through, good Sonic Wave there as well. As Canyon, he just reapplies it. Decent body slam, but he's still just going to manage to pick this one up as Hoya tanks the turret for a very long time. Safeguard comes in. Beautiful avoidance of the damage there from Hoya as well. Gets himself the shield as Peanut, he's going to get stunned up. It's a 1-for-1, so he does answer, but that is only more kills going to the Camille, which is not exactly what you want if you're Gen G.
Very unfavorable trade there. Beautifully played by Kia. You cancel that from Doctom, but overall, that is more gold going into the Camille. And what a story will be, Atlas, if Hoya comes in after having barely played for the second half of the split, just locks 2 games of Camille, 1v9s twice.
Do you know who it reminds me of? A certain Lord of the Gauntlet last year, where Morgan was touted as the worst top laner that we had, and then takes Harmalife Esports to Worlds by playing back-to-back games of Camille.
Who did he have in mid and bot lane again, Atlas?
I think he's in this game. The mid lane guy, I think he's here somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, that helps.
Yeah. There's also that alpaca, I think, on the bottom side.
Yeah.
Realm Warp to come up towards the top side is, oh no, Doran's just continuing to have the worst time ever. He does have the body slam, he does utilize it to try and get himself out of the way, but he has no flash now, no cask, he does have body slam. And Kia not going to find it this time around. Let's see whether Doctom can do the same thing, as it's just like, kill Doctom, kill Doran. That is how it seems to be going here, as Canyon. Gonna clear out this ward and then look for Shirley.
Stop the bullying, Dom1!
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm like, look at Chovy. He's just hoovering up minions all over the place. I think maybe Kia are a little bit overexcited about murdering the Gragas over and over again.
Ruler.
Yeah.
Infinity 4.
Indeed, but does have now the Gragas here. And the Gragas' global taunt this game has been ludicrously high.
Okay, 2k gold up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's feeling
like Chovy's just going to enter the game with his 2 items, and Dom1 are going to be like, oh, maybe we should have dealt with that.
Remember how in the olden times when a Cassian was in the game, we did like the
level
16, the Monka W? Yeah. We should do the same with the 2-item spike.
Well, there's also a really nice body slam. They're going to do with the turret first before we Hextech Ultimatum Doran. He's now in the fun zone, but not exactly having the most fun. He's going to be taken down. Lehens just looks, just watches. He had to sit there and observe as his Gragas was just taken down right in front of him. His house also destroyed just beforehand. As it is going to be Solar Flare heading towards this. Oh, okay, yeah, Kellen just going to get out. Didn't want that one. As that is Soul Point picked up for Gen G. Damwon Kia will be able to break open the mid lane. They are not interested in Dragons at all. In fact, Dragons have been a loss condition in this series. So not getting them, good idea. Big thumbs up from me.
Soul is loose.
Yeah.
That's what we've learned today.
Yeah, don't do that.
배치기 빠졌어.
Doesn't matter.
No.
갈고리 4초.
Body slams down.
No body slam, no problem.
Available. And just letting him know that he has ultimate. And he just ult the ult.
Man, the flash as well. To avoid as much of the damage as possible.
Yeah.
볼배 노플. 이번에 탑 깰게.
Extension.
탑에 올 수 있는 거.
Oliver no flash, I'll get turret. And then, these replays are actually hurting my soul. Poor Doran.
Look at his health. Oh, no, there he goes.
I tried.
Yeah, you couldn't. That's the problem. As the second activation of Precision Protocol, especially when Camille was fed and he was adding levels, is...
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you tank Gragas, right? You're going to get bodied. And this plan from Damwon Kia to just absolutely ravage Doran's lane and his enjoyment of the video game has been working out very, very well. But is it enough?
Yeah, what does it
all
mean?
All of this, as I was saying before we... Oh, no,
Oh,
man.
God, it continues!
Not again! I
Okay,
think he
never mind,
does,
never
so it's
mind.
fine. As I was saying, I want a countdown for when that Mana Mune
Yeah,
hits
right.
360.
Like,
right?
look at
Can we do
Chovy's got
that?
so much gold, Chronicler!
Can we do that? Can
Yeah.
we do that collectively? Can we make that happen? Because that's when the game starts for Chovy. He already has his Ludens. That's when the fun begins for Gen G fans.
That's when
presumably.
Chovy enters the game, and there's like really harrowing music that comes through on the Damwon Kia
Is it
side
like
of
a
the rift.
Latin choir?
Yeah. It's really scary.
It's the final boss. That's when you know it's serious.
Yeah, no,
That's
exactly.
when you're in trouble.
Yeah. This is that boss that has like 3 phases in the RPG that you're playing, and you've got like no consumables left, and
No,
you're
you
down
throw
to like
it all
2
the way
health,
in phase 2.
and you're like, oh, I finally beat it. And then it's like, and I've got all my health back, and now I'm 3 times as powerful. You must take me down again. That's kind of what it's feeling like as this Manamune is stacking up. An analogy took a long time. Thankfully, we're in a lull state. How's the hummus?
We don't have to go back to the hummus, Atlas.
I just thought it was funny.
No, you know I love it. So if you give me the opportunity, I'll talk about hummus.
Well,
A lot. But I
Gen G
don't
have
think you do.
Drake leads.
Yes.
Damwon Kia have turret leads.
Yes.
That's sort of
But
how
no
it is.
gold lead.
No, gold lead does not exist in this game. We'll see whether the extra map control is going to be what Damwon Kia can play around. You can see the top outer turret now just getting barraged by minions over and over again. As Doran throws out a barrel. But it's of course Chovy up here that's going to get the local gold of this turret going down. He does have the transformation. And the Corgi is just being treated like an absolute king in this game.
Well, it's not just it's also ruler.
Oh yeah.
Peanut and Doran have just we don't need money. Just go ahead, take it all, take everything, every way, all of them, and ruler. Hopefully before this Drake. Not quite sure if that's going to be the case, but ideally, as there is a very deep collapse coming through. As Doran.
Yeah, Doran
Oh, no.
now in the river, not exactly
Oh,
where he wants to
no.
be. Great interruption there with the hook shot, but the rest of his team is moving over. Heads up play there from Hoya to move out of that one. It's going to be a little bit too dangerous.
Still TP used.
Yep.
As I was saying, this Drake fight, that Gen G, by the way, don't even have to take. They can just 5-man Baron and try to steal that away, as there's the transformation coming through. Crucially, these spikes that are being hit by Gen G are so strong, right? You have 2-item spike for Chovy, gets his transformation. Ruler able to pick up his Triforce and his Mana Mune. Transformation still a little bit off.
Yeah.
As
Nina walks into the brush. Damwon Kia without vision. Chovy with a
package.
package.
That's, ooh boy.
Special delivery available. Kellen was spotted there with the Scryer's Bloom.
Canyon with that wave also picked up Death Dance. So both Canyon and Hoya sitting on 2 items as well.
Yeah.
Really, really strong, both
Package
of them.
just wears off. This is big news. 18 seconds on
Too early.
the Soul. Thimblewinter to come through from Showmaker. a decent spike as well, but these rockets are beginning to hurt. Canyon, you can see, bleeding as that Death Dance is utilized. And Chovy, I mean, they get vision control, they get control of this river, and the Corki is just so powerful. Realm Warp, just to spot what's happening in that Dragon Pit, showing signs of desperation here on Damonkia's side. They know that they cannot give up this Hextech Soul. As now Canyon gonna have to safeguard his way out, does so. Rockets are connecting, he just smites the camp. And does have another charge of that smite, so that'll be up again. He does need to contest. Peanut thinks he might have found Showmaker and Dr. Arm. As Gen G do relinquish control as the shove is there for Damonkia on the bottom side. Ruler not finding any joy with the True Shot Barrage. Hoya wrapping around for the flank, hasn't been spotted just yet. Dragon down to 50% health. Now, yeah, these rockets really hurting. Hoya transitions towards the other side of this fight. Kellen still on the flank on the opposite side.
He's getting low.
Yeah. Can the bouncing bombs land or can the rockets land is kind of the question here, as the Drake is getting frustrated, getting annoyed. Is someone going to continue fighting me? Or do I have to just keep running around as they're looking for Kellen? He flashes into the pit, it's secured by Canyon as now Doran finds the double body slam, gets his revenge against Damonkia. Canyon stays alive for a long time, but not long enough. And Damonkia, the only thing they can take away is the Drake from that fight.
That's a crucial objective, but now the counterplay for Gen G can definitely push for the turret here. Showmaker gets spotted, teleport comes through, and it's only going to be one turret, so 2 kills. And maybe Hoya can get some chunk on this bot side, but needs to be careful. Collapse might be imminent here.
Yeah, he's got his Ravenous Hydra completed. Showmaker is going to get away. Yeah, Hoya is going to sacrifice himself, I guess, for this inner turret on the bottom side. Hoya, bit of a secret agent here is okay. Lahen's looking for his angle. Hextech Ultimatum comes down. Hoya just going to get himself out of here. Tactical sweep on Lahen's, and yeah, Hoya's real dead, but he did buy some time, I guess. No Baron available, though, for Damonkia. They're not going to go for it. They don't have great Baron damage, although there is a Liandry's on the Ziggs.
Yeah, key thing there is if Dr. is 3 items, you take Baron in that time. But he's not, so they don't have the time. Not available. Hoya getting that turret, that's nice, but giving away your life when you have a fat bounty on your head, not really the way to go.
Nope.
And even though that Drake went over to Damonkia, to me, it felt like this was their fight. This was the one. This was the one that you needed to win. And it is Doran, truly untiltable with a beautiful body slam, killing both Canyon and Callan in a single play. That might have been the difference maker, because even though you don't get you get 3 more chances. Who cares? This is the first Drake for Damonkia. And who takes the kill? It's Joe.
He does. Chovy, I think, is invisible to Damonkia, but he's not invisible to us. 3-0 and 2, full bounty. Picked up his Ravenous Hydra as well. Just so much money. This Corki is beyond fed. Yes, they had to sacrifice their Gragas, but Gen G straight up don't care. Gragas will always have a body slam, and he will always have an explosive cask.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just really not looking great for Damonkia as this game goes on, right? It was largely an early game strategy, but Gen G, they kept themselves in it.
Imagine a League of Legends champion where depending on how many times you die or you kill other players, your kit changes. So you actually do lose your abilities if you die too much.
Whoa.
Whoa, right?
That sounds not great. That sounds like poor game design.
What do you mean? It's wonderful. Yeah. You can shift for hey, then we're gonna make a Felios a champion based on the moon, okay? Like you can give me this, Atlas.
All right, so where's your money on? Is your money on Fed Camille carrying solo, or is your money on Fed Corki carrying solo? Because I've got an idea.
I'm gonna go with Fed Corki and Ruler, because Ruler is like
true.
You have Chovy, which is Exhibit A, and then you have Ruler, which is Exhibit B.
Yeah.
And then Domon just has Hoya.
Yeah.
Although, hey, Dogdom went Gathering Storm, so
there you go.
In 15 minutes and a death cap.
If they can hold on, right? Like it is the classic scaling versus scaling argument of Corki versus the Ziggs, but Ziggs needs to hit the ultimate, otherwise it doesn't really work, whereas Chovy can miss like 50% of his rockets, hit one big one, and then they win the fight.
Yes.
And that just feels a little bit unfair. but we don't need to complain about Corki anymore because we have done enough complaining about that champion for a lifetime.
I do agree with you. Yeah, we've filled our quota.
Yes. I don't think we're
Not just us. I think there were a lot of people that helped us. Thorin.
Yeah, hookshot comes through. Here is the Realm Warp. Puts him into the Hextech Ultimatum, and Hoya is going to break his stopwatch to make sure that Doran is dead again. He reset his gold, remember, in that last fight. And of course, Dalmonkey are going to look to pick that up.
The key thing there is that with that stopwatch, Hoya doesn't get knocked out of his own Hextech Ultimatum, so there's nowhere to go for Doran. And with 40 seconds on the clock, that'd be a second Drake for Damwon.
Does that mean... is that worth it though, right? Because Hoya now can't do that exact strategy in a team fight. He can't do it when they're fighting around this Baron, for example. As Canyon, on Vision right now, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know that because the Vision is... Oh, there we go. Now he does.
Yeah.
That's going to be the kill off, I think.
Okay. Well, Docdom is going to be able to... Okay, Chovy has the package. Going to deliver it to Showmaker here, who does go golden. And now the flash on in, just trying to buy some time to get Leona here, but Chovy's trying to fight this one out. 1 versus 2, all too easy for the mid laner of Gen G.
And Dalmonkey try desperately to keep Chovy locked in the lane so they can get the Baron. And you know what Chovy says?
Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah.
Oh no, not happening. Gets the 1v2. Damwon can't do Baron. That's all.
Is this when Damwon realizes, oh, we may have messed up? As Doran was punished so much, and Chovy reaped all the rewards for it. This is pretty cute from Hoya. Of course, the use of the stopwatch to avoid being CC'd, so that Doran continued to get trapped in the Hextech Ultimatum. Cool stuff, but it's a pick onto a Gragas. This was Showmaker coming around the corner, and Chovy saying, welcome to my domain.
Yeah. Still that stopwatch.
어 뭐야? 뭐야 준아?
Chovy, what was that? Oh, Lehens. I really hope he becomes a commentator when he decides to retire. And hopefully when he decides to retire, it's in like 15 years or something like that. Still got some time in him. As Peanut is going to find Kellen here towards the top side. Ruler getting over the wall. Few mystic shots, and that's a very dead Leona. Dalmonkey is starting to fall apart at the seams. 2,000 gold is only the lead, but gold is becoming irrelevant. And the fact that Corki exists is very relevant. There is also a Hextech Soul and a Corki and an Ezreal. Like,
It's bad.
Yeah, this is very, very scary. Showmaker is just going to taxi these minions towards this inhibitor turret. Was Dalmonkey looking to try and trade. Baron is still available. Inner turret was taken on the top side. And now Showmaker slowed down. Oh man, Hextech Soul, pretty high value there as Doran's going to get some revenge. Throws a cast towards Showmaker here, who tanks for a very long time. But in the end, it's going to be absolutely fine. They secure the kill on the mid laner of Dalmonkey. They are pulled towards the bottom side of the map. I guess there is that. But there's still more gold being bled over to Gen G. And
hey, you know, that means there's bounties for Damwon.
True.
Yeah. So they can get those and then not be behind anymore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How do you get those?
Anyway, looking at the current administration for Dalmonkey, you see that...
I think you send 7 people to where Chovy is. Peanut is going to find both Hoya and Canyon. Flash comes through, tactical sweep to try and get rid of Peanut, but he closes the distance so beautifully. The kickback to bring Peanut away from the rest of his team, but he's so tanky! Goes golden at the perfect time as well as Peanut decides that he wants to do a bit of showing off this game as well. Teleport from Docdom. He's trying to teleport out of the game, but he makes it to the bottom side of the map instead as Gen G are looking for this Baron. It looks like we're going to Game 5 Chronicler, and I think that everyone is extraordinarily happy about it. As, not going to be able to grab the kill on that Karma. And, yeah, Gen G are taking about everything ever right now, and they're allowed to.
Everything all of the time, nothing that Dalmonkey can do,
and it's not even a little bit of everything all of the time. It's everything.
It's everything.
All of the as fast as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can be done here for Damwon. No itemization as well. Gen G recognizing that the only AD sources on Dalmonkey are Hoya, who, well, he does a lot, but him alone is not going to be nearly enough. So they all have Maul, which Docdom is almost done. And he has a void stuff. It helps a little, but it's still not great. Key issue, of course, is that you see what Chobi's did? Yeah, that's through Eclipse. They don't even need him. That's the worst part, because Ruler is fed enough to carry this game by himself, and when playing from behind, this Damwon comp has not a lot to do. They can clear waves, but Dom went bot to clear waves.
Yep.
And... Did you have to, Jonas Strong? Man's playing a clean game, perfect KDA.
Yeah, he just hates his stopwatch. He just wanted to break it. He was stamping it on the ground.
It was a protest.
Yeah,
this item is too good.
I don't need you. I am too fed. Well, Chobi's got a big one prepped, holding onto it for the moment. As if he hits Dom, oh, that was scary. Not going to find that one either, but Damwon Kia just pushed so far away. And yeah, feels like only a matter of time. This is a formality, finally. Gen G actually managed to see through the, okay, never mind. We're going to go for the last team fight here as Hoya dives on in. They're trying to get on top, but oh my god, the AoE! It is just absurd, this damage! Great body slam there as well as Canyon does go golden, but Showmaker is going to get taken down. Doctom flashing to get himself out of the way of Doran. Lahens has fallen down, but the rest of Gen G stands strong, and Doctom is just a little zigs against the world. And he is going to be taken out. That's going to be the ace, and that is going to be Game 5. Cue the silver scrapes as Gen G will pull through here in Game 4.
We are going all the way, Atlas. That's what we asked for. That's what we'll be getting. And with a monster of a Corki game.
Yeah.
Gen G.
Would you say that that's a corker?